The COBIT 5 Foundation Certificate. Module 5. The Process Capability Assessment Model. Module Contents. Welcome to Module 5. This module consists of 2 lessons. Lesson 1 introduces process assessment, and Lesson 2 examines the process assessment model in detail. The information in this module relates to the 5th part of the syllabus. Syllabus Area Code PC. Some of the material is based on the publication COBIT Process Assessment Model using COBIT 5. Relevant material is reproduced in your study guide, so you do not need to read that publication if you don't have access to it. Remember, it's strongly recommended that you carry out further reading in your study guide and in your COBIT 5 guide, A Business Framework for the Governance and Management of Enterprise IT, as part of your exam preparation. This video provides you with an overview of the lesson contents for this module. We're going to briefly review each lesson in turn. Lesson 1 introduces process assessment. Topics include what a process assessment is, the COBIT assessment program, and the differences between a maturity and a capability assessment. Lesson 2 covers the process assessment model in detail. Topics include the process reference model, the process assessment model, and the measurement framework. If you're ready, let's get started. Enjoy the module, and remember our expert tutor team is there to support you. If you've got any questions, just use the link provided to contact them. The COBIT 5 Foundation Certificate. Module 5. The Process Capability Assessment Model. Lesson 1. Introducing Process Assessment. Welcome to Module 5, Lesson 1. In this lesson we'll study what process assessment is, the COBIT assessment program, and the differences between a maturity and a capability assessment. The COBIT 5 process assessment model is based on the international standard ISO IEC 15504 Software Engineering Process Assessment. A process assessment is used to benchmark an enterprise's IT-related processes against recognized independent criteria. A common approach, and the one taken by COBIT 4, is based on process maturity. COBIT 5 takes a different approach, one based on capability. The significance of this is that a capability assessment asks if the process serves its purpose and delivers its objectives. A maturity assessment can judge a process to be highly mature even though it does not deliver value to the enterprise. A process assessment has the following characteristics and purposes. It is usually performed as part of an improvement program, though it could be done in order to provide evidence of capability. Its purpose is to add value to the enterprise by increasing its effectiveness and efficiency. Its purpose is not to make better processes. It indicates where an enterprise might focus its improvement efforts. Of course, the decision will always be made in the context of individual circumstances. And it will identify the strengths, weaknesses, and risks of a process as they relate to business needs. Another characteristic of a process assessment is that it uses a recognized methodology. The point here is that an assessment must be repeatable. Assessments are usually repeated over time, and we need to be able to compare results and answer questions such as, did our improvements work? Are we getting better? And how much better? Logical. The criteria used in an assessment must be objective and derived from accepted evidence or principles. Understandable. The assessment must mean something to stakeholders. They should be able to use the assessment to make decisions about what to do next. And reliable and robust. The results of an assessment must reflect the actual state of the process as observed and experienced by stakeholders. Okay, you've learned about what a process assessment is. Now let's examine the new COBIT assessment program. The program is underpinned by 3 ISACA publications. You've already learned that the COBIT 5 assessment process is based on the ISO 15504 reference model. It is documented in the publication COBIT Process Assessment Model, PAM, using COBIT 5. Most of the process assessment model material is COBIT 4 material restructured to align with ISO 15504. There is a guide for certified assessors, the COBIT Assessor Guide, using COBIT 5. ISO 15504 identifies the need for assessors who are both independent and competent. In support of this, ISACA is developing a training and examination program for assessors. And there is a self-assessment guide, COBIT Self-Assessment Guide, using COBIT 5. This can be used by an enterprise that is just starting out on the COBIT road to form a view of their situation. These publications are all chargeable and are available from the ISACA website. The COBIT 5 capability-based assessment program has a number of advantages over the previous assessment scheme. A prime advantage is that a capability assessment has a much greater focus on process outcomes. It does assess whether the process is serving its stated purpose. This is not the case with a maturity-based assessment. A process could achieve a high maturity rating and yet not be achieving its objectives. Another advantage is that the assessment criteria are much more specific. The assessment is dependent on evidence, and so is much more objective and repeatable. The previous maturity assessment allowed greater scope for subjective judgments. The results could vary depending on who carried out the assessment and often resulted in disagreements and arguments between stakeholders. The new assessment program includes provision for the training and independent certification of assessors. This will raise the standard of assessments and increase the confidence of the enterprise leaders in the program and in the COBIT framework itself. Using ISO 15504 as a model for the COBIT 5 process assessment model is in itself an advantage. Using a generally accepted assessment framework not only ensures a robust assessment process, but it also enhances its status and reputation for quality. It promotes the brand image. The advantages of objectivity, rigor, and specificity that we've described also makes the results a much better basis for action. This is a major advantage of the new process assessment model. That completes this lesson, which introduced you to process assessment. You learned about what process assessment is, the COBIT assessment program, and the differences between a maturity and a capability assessment. Before we complete this lesson, here's a quick quiz to test what you've learned. At the end of the quiz, you'll receive your result and can try the questions again if you would like to. The next lesson is Module 5, Lesson 2, the Process Assessment Model. You'll learn about the Process Reference Model, the Process Assessment Model, and the Measurement Framework.